Hi guys, welcome to another Buzzin walkabout here on Buzzin Pattaya, and today I'm at Soi 7 and Soi 8. I thought, well, let's have a walk around. It's mid-afternoon now, it's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're in the Sois that really used to be really good afternoon places to visit. Always busy, lots of activity, but as you're going to see, sadly, that is really no more. And this also falls into the problem where they are talking about making Soi 7 and Soi 8 more about hotels and restaurants and less about bars. Whether that's going to happen, your guess is as good as mine, but we are in Soi 7. I am going to show you around. Later on in the week, I will come down of an evening and show you if there's any more life here later on in the day. Not a lot, but a little bit, but anyway, it all helps. Now, today's discussion is about how did your first visit live up to your expectations? And it's a really good chat because I was asked this question about how many people come here expecting to have this incredible time, how many people find that the city offers more than what they were expecting, and likewise how many people came and thought, you know what, that wasn't really as good as I was hoping for. Strange, but it may happen. Maybe you're one of those people. So we're gonna have a walk around and I'm gonna cover all the aspects about, I remember when it was my first time, how I felt, and hopefully you guys will share about how you felt and did Pattaya City live up to your expectations. But before we get into that, I just want to say a welcome to some new members. I would like to say to Mickey Boy, to Bill McKernan, Jeff Hannon, Ronnie NZ, BLUESMOKE, TWOSTROKE, I love that name, John Saunders, Gregory EGAN, Michael Wright and Terry Vixen. Guys, thank you very much for your support for the channel. It's much appreciated. Welcome on board, and I look forward to seeing you guys when we do our members meet and greets and we go off and do our things, etc. Hopefully you'll be over in a not too distant future. All right guys, so enough about that. Let's get turning around. Let's head down into Soi 7 and Soi 8 and let's see what is, or rather isn't, going on, and how did Pattaya live up to your expectations on your very first visit. Okay, so let's head down, starting on Soi 7, and the first thing you see there is a 7-Eleven shut, which is obviously a clear indication as to the lack of people here. And as you're going to see, a lot of these places, bear in mind it's just gone 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and this area normally should be and would be very busy. All right, so your first visit now, how was it and did it live up to your expectations? And there's a lot of processes involved when you are planning your first visit, and a lot of things to consider, and a lot of things that may or may not change as the date approaches when you are going to be jumping on the airplane and heading over here. So the first question that I want to ask you is, you know, when you do decide to come over here and you've booked that flight, is that something that you then use to count down the days? I mean, you that excited, you think, you know what, I've only got like 3 months to go, 2 months to go, whatever it is. Do you count down the days? And does that put you into a good frame of mind, or does it make you think, oh, you know, it's too far away, I'm not really that worried? What do? Do you count down the days? And once you've booked your flight, are you nervous? Were you nervous? Did you think to yourself, my Lord, I've actually gone and done this. I really am going to go to Pattaya and experience everything firsthand that I've seen and read about on the internet, etc., on social media. You know, did it make you nervous, or were you like super excited thinking, I can't wait to do this, this is going to be something special? How did it make you feel? Because for some, I'm guessing, and it was like a little bit like that with me, you suddenly become a bit more, it becomes a bit more real. Do you know what I mean? All of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, this is really going to happen. I'm really going to go over there and experience this. So how did it make you guys feel? And before you came over, on the subject of the internet and of social media, did you bother to research any places? Did you do any homework, or did you think, do you know what, I'm just going to wing it? Hello, sorry cab. I'm just going to wing it. How did you deal with it? Did you actually have a plan? And those of you that have been here a few times will know, and those of you that may be watching this thinking, I am going to come over for my first trip, guys, don't make any plans, because they never listen. They never actually materialize. Plans normally last a couple of seconds and then it changes, because you go out and everything changes. And talk about changing, now look at this. Now this bar here, the very first bar, used to be a ladyboy bar, and it was always busy in here. Really great place to come and chill out for the afternoon. and sit down, but as you can see, it's completely empty. And I mean, who remembers Gossip Girl here? I mean, that was another very popular bar, as was opposite, which was called Happiness Corner. We'll just get to that in a second. Over here now, Happiness Corner, when Songkran was here, they used to have a pool in there, swimming pool, and it was brilliant. You know, the girls would be jumping in and out, etc, etc. Really was incredible. But just look at it right now, you know, absolutely just destroyed. It's just, look at it, really is incredible. And I wonder how long, or what will be the time before they make that final decision, say, do you know what, we're going to do what we're going to do and knock it all down. I don't know. All right, so back to our chap. So yeah, did you do any research? Did you look up places to go, or have a hit list that you made sure that you wanted to do? And guys, if you did have a hit list, be honest, did you stick to it when you got here, or did all your plans as normal go out the window? Be interested to know. So I want you to cast your mind back now when you did have your very first visit here, and you're at the airport, you're about to depart, you're on the aeroplane, it's just really all sinking in now. There is no turning back. You are going to do this. And how did you feel, you know, when you got on the aeroplane, and then when you land, you know, you landed. I used to get the afternoon flight, so I'd leave England at around about 9:30, 10:30, and then I would land, depending on the flight time, about midday, sort of like 3:30, something like that. And I used to fly direct. I couldn't do those stopovers, they drive me nuts. So I used to fly direct. But the point being is, when you landed, when that light dinged and the bell dinged, and you were then told, yep, you can undo your seatbelt now, get your baggage from your overhead locker, and you can depart from the plane. How did you feel? Was it as exciting as you felt, or was it just like, right, well, let's go do this? I know for me, when I first came here, I used to land at MUEANG airport, and I gotta say, for those of you that were coming for the first time that also landed at MUEANG airport, what an anticlimax. Oops, sorry, there's a, oh, hello, what we got here? It's a bit noisy. Hang on a second. Here we go. All right, emptying the drains. Just get round here. Sorry guys, 1 second. Whew. Normally they would pump all the drains in the sea. Just get past that noise. Okay, that's better, you can hear me now. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, that's right, you're leaving the airplane at MUEANG airport. Now those of you who were unfortunate enough to hit in MUEANG airport, who remembers the traffic jams coming out of Bangkok? I remember back in the day when I landed, you think, brilliant, jump in a taxi, let's go. And sadly, what you didn't realise is that you were into heaps and heaps of traffic, particularly in the rush hour area. And that was my fault, because I'd land in midday 3:30. By the time I'd cleared customs and done all of that, we were looking at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. And that was prime time traffic. So, let's go playing pool. All right, so yes. Traffic, yep, hello, yep, baby. All right, I got the message. Incidentally, Sailor Bar, really good place. I'm sure loads of you that are watching this video have been to the Sailor Bar and Restaurant. Brilliant cocktail menu in there, fantastic. All right, so one of the things that also I wanted to ask you about expectations was the heat. I remember when I used to get off the airplane, you'd think, oh, hurry up, get down these stairs, the turbine heat here is horrendous. And then you realise, no, it's not the airplane, it's actually the heat, it's just the climate here. I mean, how did you adapt to the heat on your very, very first visit? So, we've got off the airplane, you've got in the taxi, and you're now heading to your hotel. When you got to your hotel, what were you like on your first visit? Did you literally just toss your case on the floor and think, to hell with it, I'll come back later? And I'm just going to interrupt you. Who remembers the rolling live bar here? Look at this. Here you go. Not looking good, is it? Sorry to interrupt the video. It's a really good and well-known bar. I'll let it cross the road before I get flat back. Yeah, so did you toss your case on the floor and head out, or were you a little bit more disciplined and did you unpack everything and put your toothbrush in your toothbrush holder in your bathroom and then go out? What did you used to do? For me, my first visit, I literally tossed my case on the floor and thought, to hell with it, let's go and find out what this place is all about. And when you did go out, sounds a silly question, but I imagine it must have caught a few of you. How did you interact with the girls? And before you think to yourself, what the hell is he going on about? When I lived in London, you couldn't just interact with girls willy-nilly. You had to go through the whole process of the eye contact, and maybe you'd try and go to the bar at the same time that they were there, and you'd then offer to buy them a drink. You know the routine. Whereas here, it was completely different, because here, the tables turn, the girls come to you, the girls interact with you, they're suddenly grabbing you and all the rest of it, and you're thinking, what on earth is going on here? You know, this isn't the norm. So how did you find that? You know, were you scared? Were you intimidated? Or was you quietly confident? Thought, you know, this is great, no dramas, I can handle this? Because for some, I'm sure, the change in scenario where suddenly you become the victim, I suppose, if that's the best way of saying it, where the girls are targeting you, how that can affect some people. It can actually scare people, you know, it really can. And what about when it comes down to the bar fine? You know, when you got here and you were going to go to a bar and you've met the new love of your life, the girl of your dreams, the girl that's going to rock your world and empty your wallet, when you paid the bar fine, how did that make you feel? What was the thought process? You know, was it again like, wow, is this really going to happen? Or was it a case of, okay, yeah, we'll just go with the flow and see where it happens? These are all pivotal points in the transaction that, especially for your first time, may be very overwhelming. And then once you'd left the bar, what was your next plan of action? Did you go around all the bars? I mean, you know, hit Walking Street, LK Metro, Soibucao, all these different areas. Did you hit those areas, or was it let's go straight back to the room and you know, have our fun? What did you do? All right, so we're coming up the closing part now. We're up to the top end here. Sorry, as you can see, not a lot going on here, which is a real shame. And I want to finish the video just on the last part of your trip here, because when you're here and it's your first time, I'd like to ask you, what did your holiday entail? Was it day in, day out hitting all the bars? Did you explore the city? Did your newfound love of your life show you around? Did you even venture up into the villages? I really hope not on your first visit. If you got dragged to the villages on your first visit, trust me, you didn't do too well. But what was your experience? How did it feel? And incidentally, you know, when that had happened and it finished and it was time to say goodbye, how did you feel? What was going through your mind in terms of leaving? You know, when you left, was it a, phew, thank goodness that's over? Or was it like, oh God, I wish I could stay longer. I wish I didn't have to go back to work. I wish I didn't have to go back home. How did you feel? How was your first experience? And lastly, the last question I want to ask you is, when you got back, what did you have to do? Because for me, and I openly admit this, and I have no shame in it whatsoever, the first thing I did the very next day that I landed was book my next flight. There was no way in this world I was going to sit back home in England without any clear indication as to the next time I would be here enjoying this incredible city. And what about you guys? You know, is that something you would do, or were you not able to because of work commitments, or did you just think, do you know what, If I go back, I'll go back. If I didn't, it's not the end of the world. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. How did it affect you? So there we go, guys. That's the end of today's walk around. And as I say, I've shown you Soi 7 and Soi 8. As you can see, they're a far cry from what they used to be. You know, 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, these places used to be packed, really, really packed. Unfortunately, now, as you can see, they're on the bones of their arse, which is a real shame. All right, so just heading back up here now. I'm on that pavement. And if you're in an emergency and you need to call the police, there you go. Good luck on that one. All right, guys, let me just spin the camera around and we're going to finish off. All right, guys, so that's it today here on our Buzzin walkabout at Soi 7 and Soi 8. Hopefully you enjoyed the little walkabout and see what isn't happening rather than what is happening. And please, you know, as you always do, drop your comments below. What was your very first visit like here to Pattaya? And did it live up to your expectations, or did it exceed your expectations? How did you find that visit? All right, guys, so please remember we got the new chat show where I'm going to answer questions that perhaps can't necessarily have a video for. So again, if there's any questions you want to add into the chat, please drop them below. I will add them in and I'll answer as many as I possibly can. All right, guys, that's it for me then. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Don't forget, please check out our members area. There's lots and lots of new members joining, which is fantastic. And later on, we will be doing members only bar crawls and other things that I'll be giving out to the members area. So please, guys, have a look. And if you'd like to join, that'd be fantastic. And don't forget, join our Telegram group. I post pictures of all the latest girls in all the bars. Fly there. I post pictures of all the girls in all the bars, latest pictures up to date, so you know who's working where. And there's loads and loads of like-minded people just like yourself that have all got an interest in this fantastic city. So please, guys, join the Telegram group. All right, that's it from me then. Thank you very much for watching, and please, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.